there. In this video I'm going to show you how you can use Fluid Designer for 3D printing to create this personalised charm. It could be a pendant as well, but we've really designed this to put on a charm bracelet, and we've set it up so that the internal diameter of these holes is 4mm, and in this instance we've put a Harrington font letter A on it, and we've used a teddy bear. But as you can see, there's a range of animals that we can use, not just teddy bears. Oops, I've just gone too far there. Okay, so dogs and cats, etc. And we can also do it in 3D print it in plastic as well. And instead of Harrington fonts, we could use Arabic, Hebrew, Hindi, Korean, Russian, etc. So we're going to use Fluid Designer for 3D printing to do this. And first of all, if I just click Group Library, that just refreshes this list here. And so I'm going to use a ring connector, and as I just said, I'm going to use the wire connector with a 4mm diameter hole. That means it's suitable for putting on a charm bracelet. I'm also going to use a Harrington font. So I'm going to use this letter A here, this Harrington font letter A. And I'm going to add all that to an animal pattern. And so if I go to Patterns, Animals, I'm going to use this Teddy Bear 001. And as you can see, there are different variations of the teddy bear I could use, and other animals. So first of all, I'm going to go back to Harrington fonts. So I'm going to use this letter A here, and so I'm just going to drag and drop that onto the workspace. And what I want to do now is add my teddy bear, and as I've just shown you, that's in the Patterns Animals folder. And so I go to File and Append, and just go up through the menu system until you get to the Groups folder. I'm looking for Animal Patterns, so it's Patterns Animals. And I want teddy bear. I'm going to use 001, and we always append the object. So we append teddy bear 001 from the library. Now if I look at this object, first of all I need to select it, and I'll just switch on screencast keys, so any key presses I make should be displayed down here. It's a little bit large at the moment. This is 25 by 24. And also, unlike a lot of the objects that we use, this is not, although it's a curve, it's not a parametric smart object, this, because it says 2D here, and you've got this flat surface. So it's a little bit different from some of the, or most of the objects that we use at Fluid Designer. But what we're going to do is we're going to scale this down, and I'm just going to watch the size over here, and I'm going to take it down to about 12mm. So S on the keyboard to scale. And I'm just watching in the properties panel, so that's 12mm. Yeah, I'll do it at 12mm, so that's what we've got over here. Now you can see the thickness has changed, but if I do Control A and apply the scale here, nothing will happen to this, because this is a 2D object, not a parametric smart object like the A. If I do the same thing with the A here, if I just go to View and Top View, if I do S to scale, and then just scale that down so that it fits there. When I do Control A and apply the scale this time, watch the thickness of the object change, and this value here, the thickness of it, 2mm, is exactly the same as the value here. So this is a smart object. I can change its thickness, and I can scale it and still maintain its thickness. That's not the case with this teddy bear. So one of the things I'm going to have to do here is I'm going to have to change the Z value here. And I'm going to change it back to 2mm to get my thickness back. That's really important with this object. Now I don't want that overlapping completely like that, so I'm just going to go to View and Front View, and I'm just going to pull it up 1mm. The snap is on at the moment, so I've just pulled it up 1 unit here, it's in millimeters. And so I've got it sticking up 1mm above the teddy bear now. And all I want to do now is to put a connector at the top. So if I just go to View and Top View, and remember the connectors are in 3D Templates connectors, And I'm going to use this one with the 4mm diameter hole so I can put it on a charm bracelet. So we go to File and Append. Just go up through the menu system until you get to the Groups folder. Look for 3D Templates Connectors. I want a wire connector with a 4mm diameter hole, and I want to append that object from the library. I can't quite see it at the moment, so let me just select it over here in the outliner panel. So it's the wire connector with a 4mm diameter hole, and I just pull that up, and I can position it so that it just sits up the top there. I can go into wireframe so I can see it sticking nicely through the object, and it is a teddy bear object there, so that's no problem. Okay, so that's essentially all I need to do apart from join these objects together. Now, if I wanted to do this in plastic, I wouldn't keep this as 1mm thick. I would probably change this to a different cross section. I'd probably change it to 1x2, which is the cross section of the letter A. That gives me a bit more substance if I'm printing in plastic. If I just do Ctrl Z and undo that, if I'm printing in brass or silver or gold plated or something like that, I might leave that as round. So you do need to take that into account if you're just printing this object in plastic. But to join these together, because this is a 2D object, not a parametric smart object, and because I want to keep that as a 1mm diameter circular ring rather than a 2x1 like the letter A, we wouldn't join these together. So what I would do is I would convert that to a mesh, convert that to a mesh, and convert that to a mesh, and then holding the Shift key down, I would highlight all three objects and go to Tools, Object Tools, and join them together. And so we've now got our completed object as a mesh, and what we would then do is export it, and I tend to use Wavefront's OBJ rather than STL format. Export it to the desktop, and I saved it as a personalized teddy bear charm, and so I export that object. And then what you must do is you must go to Netfab Basic and just repair it in Netfab Basic. I did this before, but all you do is you click on the repair icon, click Automatic Repair and Execute. Just click Update. You see these are all set to 0, so that's what we're looking for. So apply the repair and remove the odd part. And then there is your finished object, and you just export it again as a Wavefront object, as a teddy bear charm. And that's the file that you could upload to Shapeways. Now, as we showed you before, if you want it in plastic, do it 2mm thick. 1mm may not hold, may not be strong enough. We can use different animals if you want to personalize this. Here I've used 1mm thick as the ring for a brass one, and the same for silver. Okay, so that's how easy it is to do. Thank you.